Electric vehicles, I want to talk about those. I don't like them particularly myself. I wouldn't buy one. They're still too expensive. And if you drive anywhere out of town by more than about 500 k's, you can't charge the bloody things. But the Andrews government, in their budget last year, said to anyone who wanted to buy an electric vehicle, Daisy, we'll give you $3,000 toward the purchase of your vehicle. Doesn't help when the thing costs 80 grand. But quietly yesterday, this was completely dropped because Victoria's broke and can't afford to pay this anymore. What's that say about the revolution of electric vehicles that the Labor government in Victoria was keen on?
Well, this is interesting coming from, the Socialist Republic of Victoria, of all places. I mean, they're so woke and they're so green and they're so obsessed with all this climate change stuff. You'd think, Steve, that if it was just so terribly important that we all have electric vehicles or the planet's going to, burn up, that they'd be doing absolutely everything to keep this little subsidy in place. But no, it seems to be one of the first things they've just turfed out the front door when they've realized they've made themselves broke because of their ridiculous COVID policies. Personally, I actually like electric vehicles. I'm a non-driver because I'm epileptic, but I really like it when someone drives me in an electric vehicle. It's really, really fun. So I think it's kind of a shame. But as you said, the things cost like 80 grand. I mean, what on earth is $3,000 going to really do towards getting you an electric vehicle? So the irony here is fairly extraordinary, that's for sure.
James, I reckon you would have loved the fact that Rowan Atkinson, known as Mr Bean, who was a big fan of electric vehicles, an early adopter, he's suddenly woken up that these things cost so much to make. The batteries drain so much energy out of the grid that these things are actually not environmentally friendly at all.
Exactly, and that's the big point from this, is that electric vehicles don't stack up without government subsidies, and that summarises most of the renewable energy industry. But the funny thing about this is Dan Andrews loves to brag about the fact that Victoria is the most progressive state in the country. Well, now it's the only state in the country that doesn't offer subsidies for electric vehicles. In fact, they offer disincentives because they charge electric vehicle drivers a road tax to make up for the excise fuel levy that they don't pay. But of course, when you're $171 billion in debt, you don't have spare change to change the global temperature by paying people to drive Teslas.
Absolutely. Well said, James. Thank you. And I do note that no one in the Andrews government drives an electric vehicle. Thank you for both of you for joining us.